Disclosure Day is the new Steven Spielberg film and his fourth Alien movie. It follows a group of people as they try to disclose to the public the truth about extraterrestrial life. And already this film has opened to mixed reviews. So it's about time I put the old junkie opinion on it, because at first I was actually in love with this movie, but the more I sit with it, the more I realize that there are a considerable amount of flaws in this. I feel like this movie has a lot to say. It's incredibly politically charged and has some criticisms of our government about the possession of sensitive information and how this information can hurt humanity as a whole. Asking if we as a species could handle all of this, how it would challenge us morally and religiously and make us question our place in the universe. There's a good amount of religious undertones, which I actually found very interesting. It was constantly thought-provoking, giving us an insight to someone finding their religion in this uncertain challenge for them. There was also a lot of human conflicts happening in the background of this film. I feel like this highlights the movie's themes. It puts it in our face that earthly troubles in the grand scheme of the universe don't really matter, that our place and purpose is more grand than another war occurring. The performances were astonishing all around. I felt like the cast was giving 110% always. I felt like the camera moved in ways that were so cool to watch. Some really fun one takes, some creative transitions as well. There were a couple scenes where the camera would fly around the characters like a spaceship. Like it was almost otherworldly how it flowed between our characters. The last 30 minutes of this movie also felt like a lot of my theater was left pretty speechless. This whole ending sequence was just so fun to watch, and it was very satisfying because we spent the whole movie, building up to this crazy information, and I felt like it was very worth it to see the reaction that the public had. Okay, so the movie does have a fair share of its problems. I think the aliens they introduced are almost too confusing for an audience. I understand making something that maybe we ourselves can't understand. A part of the intrigue to the audience is, what are the aliens? We want to know. But it truly didn't feel like the writers themselves knew what the aliens were. They could read minds, but they could also mind hop and plant themselves into human beings and also present themselves as birds and foxes and deers. What's going on? I feel like it's as simple as giving yourself a set of rules, right? They can do X, Y, and Z. It makes it very simple, and you don't even have to tell the audience what the rules are. But as long as if you know what they are, then it'll just be a little bit easier to grasp. But you can't expect the audience to understand, especially if half the things aren't ironed out. Think E.T., right? Another Spielberg classic. The alien can make things float, and his fingers can light up. Easy set of rules. We don't have to set up anything else. These aliens in Disclosure Day have so fucking much. Then there's a device that really feels like it was a simple solution to all of their problems. It can also help you mind jump, and also evaporates humans, and also controls electricity, and also turns you invisible. Get a set of rules! They also sideline a whole character completely. Don't bring her back until the very last second where she just saves the entire main cast. She genuinely disappears for 30 minutes after being set up to be one of the main characters. It's crazy. I also think Emily Blunt's character gets over a lot of her problems really, really fast. Throughout this whole film, we're built up to the fact that she has a lot of trauma. And this trauma that's incredibly hard for her to get over. So when she finally understands everything and she gets all the answers that she needs, she immediately takes a 180 and just accepts everything and becomes this guru. I don't understand this because it just doesn't feel rewarding. We should have had a more slow acceptance so that the character can work up to the final decisions in the end. Coleman Domingo is great, but is also sidelined, unfortunately, because a lot of his scenes are really, really good, but then he, isn't really in the movie. The villain also doesn't really have a clear motivation. In fact, this whole company was extremely undercooked. We never really got a proper introduction to them, never really understood why they don't want this information going out other than the public will freak out. The movie, like I said, has a lot to say, but its script and poor planning and weak execution leaves more to be desired. While I still think this movie is worth watching, I mean, it has a great ending, great performances, and great themes that'll really make you think, but it just simply isn't Steven's best. But, I mean, definitely one to remember. This is kind of a great time for this film to come out. Maybe not the great version of this kind of film to come out, but it definitely came out at the exact right time in our history. The more I sat with this film, the more I've taken it down, so I am going to be giving this film a 3 out of 5. But yeah, go see it for yourself and form your own opinion, and let me know what you think. Okay, thank you, bye!